8 Most Disturbing Things Caught on Dashcam Footage, Volume 2 by Chilling Scares. Dashcam footage is interesting to me because it showcases.
This first clip takes place in Malaysia in 2017. The dashcam footage itself features two guys driving through a windy residential area late at night. Everything seems to be going completely normal, when, as they start to make a turn, what looks like a person wearing all white can be seen sitting cross-legged directly in the middle of the road.
Number 6 also, I think I see like all the Texas streetlights.
That's bait. Dude, that's gotta be bait. It could just be him, but that's bait, dude. Do not get out and approach that man. Do not leave that car. Your windows are rolled up. All of those doors are locked. Do not get out of your car.
Okay, that's a bit scary.
Yeah.
That's a bit scary.
That is very scary.
That's
you reversing as well. Like, you don't know, because there could be people positioned over here off the guardrail, people positioned over the wall to the right. I think backing up is the best option here. I think that is the best option. As much as I want to say just power through, I think that, and that's probably where my default response would be. I think backing out is the good call, especially if you don't know what's on the other side of that. Yeah, I mean, realistically, if this were a good trap, you would already be surrounded by the time you saw that individual. Like, you would already be in the thick of it.
Alright, my traction control just came on.
Yeah, that's no good.
No.
Obviously terrified, the guys would immediately stop and back up their car to take a different route.
Yeah.
The video offers no further explanation of what happened next, so it's unclear why whoever or whatever this was sitting directly in the middle of the road.
It's bait. I read it as bait. You could hypothetically sit there, call the cops. I think you put yourself in a dangerous position, and I would not advise that. While you're leaving, I would, you can call the police, say, hey, this is what happened. I don't know if they're still going to get there when you get back. However, this did happen. I do have dash cam footage of it. I mean, you can report that to any officers. They can see about trying that. Because, I mean, it's you getting away from the situation, taking your own self-preservation into account, but also trying to make sure no one else falls down to the same trap. Get to safe place, call police 100%. Yeah, I think that's the correct way to go about this.
On the day of October 15, 2018, police would be flooded with calls from drivers on the highway. The calls reported a Subaru Forester with foreign plates towing a caravan in the furthest lane, carelessly going full speed down the opposite way of the highway.
Oh, wow.
The driver of the vehicle was able to do this for a full 7 minutes before getting into an accident.
Wow.
And while this was taking place, multiple dash cams were able to capture the horrifying experience, showing drivers as they desperately tried to get out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, so like right about there is where any reasonable person, I feel, would be able to see this. You have exactly this amount of time before that gets to you to respond. And like, as we can see in the footage, like, it's my head, there's already a white van to your right. That is an awful situation to be in. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, just take a second, process. I wonder, is somebody's just got to be not cognizant. They got to be effectively asleep at the wheel, right? They're driving too straight to, I think, be actually asleep at the wheel. They could be microsleep. I don't know. Like, and even then, even if you microslept and woke up, you'd be aware of what you were doing. Like, hey, I'm on the wrong side. There's more to this.
The eventual accident ended up causing a massive pileup of vehicles that would actually temporarily shut down the highway completely.
Right.
In this video.
So what was the cause of that? I guess removing. I don't know what the cause of that is. Happens more often than you think. Yeah. I mean, how many of us have gone down a one-way road and what we didn't mean to go? Like, I get it. I'm curious to know what the follow-up on that was.
This man who is on it.
Let him. Dude's probably cracked out. Maybe he likes the sign. Maybe he's trying to figure out how to steal the light bulb in it or rip it out for copper. It's not worth it.
Just like right there on the side of the road.
That's when the driver claims to see the person. And after turning on his high beams, a man on the side of the road wearing a black shirt and dark jeans is revealed.
You don't know if there's a gun in his pocket. You have no idea. He's probably armed. Do I think he's a druggie? Hard to say. Hard to say from a still. You'd have to see how he walks. I would say reasonably that you could assume that this person would be armed. You need to get out of that situation.
He also seems to be wearing some sort of mask. The guy's body language is extremely odd, but disturbingly, when the driver gets close enough, the man aggressively jumps at the car, grabbing the handle in an
this is a carjacking. What do you expect?
Attempt to open the door.
Do you see that right there? Do you see that?
That's bait. That is prime Reddit bait.
Who the But they got like some weird mask or something on. What the is that? What the Oh, what the Oh, what the
Who this guy is, or why he's alone on the side of a desolate road in the middle of the night is unknown.
Specifically to prey on people like this.
But one can only imagine what he intended to do if he were able to get the car door open.
No, carjackings, I actually didn't know carjackings were really a thing until, probably a couple years ago. Like actual Robin Hood, like highwayman status, right? Well, not necessarily Robin Hood, but like highwayman status. I didn't know they happened until I started watching footage like this. And now I've been able to formulate my own educated quote unquote opinions on how to deal with these types of things. It's how I've gotten to this point. Acknowledge the threat existing, acknowledge the threat, and be able to problem solve, especially problem solve under pressure. Thank just the ever-living fuck this man had his doors locked. If that door was not locked, we'd be in a different situation. Like that could have escalated.
This dashcam footage was taken from a police cruiser during California wildfires back in October of 2017. The clip's only 11 seconds, but shows the cruiser desperately attempting to exit a neighborhood that was overrun by the wildfires.
Yeah.
I dispatched someone from the fire department and tried to dispatch. I asked him, he said he is unaware of which way the fire is going. They have so many fires, they can't really keep track at this point, and they also cannot get through the fire.
Yeah.
On the sides of the road, through the smoke, trees and even whole houses are seen actively burning. Throughout the duration of the video, fire from the trees above can be seen raining down on the car, making the scene all the more disturbing. This dashcam footage was taken way back in 2012 on a desolate road in Russia. Quickly notice.
Oh no. Oh no. When it's Russia, you know that it's going to be next level. Oh my god.
Is a makeshift roadblock made from a tree branch and multiple bottles intentionally placed in the middle of the road. Right next to it is a driver stopped with their hazard lights on, who is also supposedly stopped by the roadblock.
Can't tell if that's...
As the two drivers get out of their vehicles to move the obstruction, a car's headlights in the background can be seen getting closer.
But they're unfazed by it. They're in on it. They have to be. No, you need to leave. Yeah, and see, now they're going to come here. He probably has a firearm. That's bait. That is interesting because they were seen as trying to move an obstruction when they were accomplice to whatever this is. Yeah, no, like that's a fairly easy read once you get acquainted with the situation. Leave.
Along with this, two people on the side of the road seem to appear out of nowhere. Many commenters responding to the video believe this footage captured a failed ambush attempt, and that the roadblock was intentionally set up as a way to force drivers to leave the safety of their vehicles to clear it from the road, which would therefore leave them vulnerable to an ambush.
Or maybe the initial people weren't. However, just leave.
One commenter even predicts that the ambushers themselves were either the people in the car down the road or the people on the side of the road. Whether this is true or not is still unknown, but still making for a disturbing experience nonetheless.
Yeah, that could have gone very badly.
around 7 p.m.
The driver was walking back to the car. Okay, so the person on the right could have been accomplice. Them being, as far as I'm looking at, them being female, presenting at least. That's not a uncommon bait for things like ambushes. You just don't know. There's so much about that situation you just don't know.
Night in 2018, this driver would come across something pretty disturbing. While driving down the highway, the driver would notice some woman sitting on the back of a car just next to him. The car itself reached speeds of around 50 miles an hour. The whole time, the woman on the back is left with practically nothing to hold on to.
Drugs? Oh, this footage feels, it's like mud looking through it.
Eventually, the vehicle would stop, and later on, the woman can be seen, now off the back of the car and aggressively attempting to open the car's door.
What a weird situation. What an absolute... I feel like she might actually be the offender in this situation. That's... Oh, I don't know. Like, that's a weird one. That is something like just... Not my monkeys, not my circus. There is a story there.
But shortly after, the video would abruptly end. What caused the whole situation to transpire in the first place is unknown.
That's a situation.
This truck driver was driving in the desert and quickly approaching a giant gray cloud that he assumed to be a dust storm. But horrifyingly, as he got closer, it was revealed that rather than a dust storm, he was driving straight into a massive plague of locusts.
Oh, wow.
Almost immediately, thousands of locusts start slamming into the guy's truck, making it increasingly difficult for him to even see in front of himself.
Wow. Okay, now I see why these things are considered a plague. Good God.
The whole thing, no doubt, making for a pretty unsettling scene. This video features a man and his wife on vacation in India. After spending the day at a local city, the couple finally decided to head back to the resort they were staying at on a rented motorbike at around 10 p.m. at night. But after around 10 miles, it was becoming clear to them that they had missed their exit. Figuring it was too late at this point, the couple ultimately decided to keep going straight in the hopes of getting back to a main road. The couple was now miles away from any kind of civilization. And disturbingly, as they kept going, a woman wearing all white standing on the side of the road can be seen slowly coming into view.
No, just turn around. Why would you keep going? That's a standard response. Hey, I missed my freeway turn. I'll just keep going, right? That's a standard response. I understand that. However, when you run into a situation like this, just turn around. Especially because you're on a bike. You're not in a car. You don't have a door you can just lock, right? You have no idea if this is a bait. You have no idea if this is a front. You have no idea how many other people are waiting in the wings. You have no idea. You absolutely have no idea.
The couple would of course end up speeding past the woman.
Wow.
Who doesn't even seem to react.
Ballsy, honestly.
And again, you gotta remember, it was 10 p.m. at night when this happened. And that section of road is miles away from any kind of civilization. Who this woman was, or why she was on a desolate road in the middle of the night, still remains unknown.
I mean, you could argue drug use, you could argue victim of trafficking, victim of XYZ. Like, there's a number of reasons. Yeah, no, that one's a weird one. I think the correct call is to turn around. I think the correct call is to absolutely turn around and not deal with it. Speeding past, that was an absolute gamble in my opinion. That was 100% a gamble, and it paid off for them because they got away, but like I think that was something that was I don't know. Like that was a gamble. It paid off, but that was risky. But I digress. What were your thoughts on today's clips? What did you think? Do you have any insight or any input or any resolutions on some of these things? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.